No. It sounds like you really mean it. So, you know, sort of... right, so, have that one. We'll leave that one instead, Pete, okay? Thank you. So, for later. Oh, I forgot to tell you about those, but don't worry. Trust me. So, Lizzie, tell us a little bit about, what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I work as a doctor in the Navy.
In the Navy?
Yeah.
But you're dressed like you're in the Army. What's that all about?
No, it's very confusing, isn't it?
It is.
Doctors in the military tend to be quite tri-forces, so we work with the Army, we work with the Navy, and we work with the Royal Marines. So recently I've been working with the Royal Marines, and they dress a bit like this. Although they'll probably tell me off, I probably got one bit of it wrong somewhere. Crease in the wrong place or something.
And you've got a hat as well?
Have got a hat. It's called a beret, actually.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, let's put it on then.
Okay. We don't wear them indoors, but okay.
Yeah, but nobody's going to tell. You're not going to tell, are you? Because apparently she'll have to kill you if you do. So, you know. Very nice. There we go. Excellent.
Can I take it off now?
No, leave it on. I like it. No, you can take it off. It's like, you know. Oh, and you have to put it back properly as well. You were never this organised as a child, I tell you, you know. Incredible, isn't it, really? It's amazing what military training does for somebody. There you go, have that. So, Lizzie, tell us a bit about sort of, you told us that you're in the Navy, you are a medic, so you're a doctor for them. Where did you come from originally, and what's your connection with this building?
Okay, so I come from a really small village called Newark, which I don't know anyone heard of that. Oh, wow. Wow, that's a lot more than I usually get, so that's pretty good. It's really small, mainly just farming, nothing else there. Don't go, it's not great. Anyway, I used to live there, and when I was younger, some family friends brought me to All Saints one Sunday, and I went to this really good youth group run by this just amazing youth worker. And
that's not any of us, so it's like he's left. So, you know,
he's left. Oh, but you were there. You were all there.
I was there, and Andy was there.
Yeah, so I used to come every Sunday to TNT from the age of, 12? I feel like I was quite young. 12, maybe? I'm not sure.
Probably. You weren't supposed to start till you were 14, but you never did listen to the rules. But anyway.
Never listened to any rules. So I used to come every Sunday to this church, and this was where I kind of learned about God. I don't know how much.
That'll do. That'll do. Okay, so, and your sort of teenage years were relatively straightforward, yeah? You had no problems, you weren't expecting this question, were you? So you went through life and it was all really smooth and easy. Or not?
Or not.
Tell them all about it.
Where do I start?
Wherever you like.
Okay, it's a bit tricky. So I don't come from a very conventional family. My family are not Christians. They weren't very happy about the fact that I became a Christian. And in fact, for a while, they banned me from going to youth group because, you know, they wanted me to go out, get drunk and do drugs because that was what was normal in my family. So these amazing youth workers used to drive the half an hour to Newark, pick me up, take me to youth group. I go to youth group in church, and then they drive me half an hour home again, which was great. And they spent that whole time telling me about Jesus. It was a cunning ploy. So
you figured it out.
So I did figure it out. So home life for me was pretty tough, full of arguments, full of quite horrible things, and it wasn't very much fun growing up in my family really. But coming to church was amazing, and I sort of found a family here in a way, and God kind of gave me the family that I didn't have at home. So my mates that I was in youth group with here, I'm still friends with some of them. In fact, I bumped into some of them this evening and they really haven't changed that much. They appear to have had children. Not sure when that happened, I missed that bit. I forgot where I was.
No, that's okay. I think you've covered it. So tell us a little bit about, when was the first time that you realised that actually the thing missing in your life was Jesus?
I think actually it was slightly before I came to church. So I used to go to a boarding school when I was younger, a Christian boarding school, and I'd go home in the weekends, and I just thought my family life was just normal, and everyone's family was like that. Turns out it's not actually. No. I came back one weekend, and my home life had been really horrible, and my parents had they were very very hurting people, and they'd just been doing a lot of yelling. and a lot of not being very nice to me, and I turned back up at school and I was really upset. And we have like house parents, so sort of a couple who were teachers who are like in charge of the kids who lived at the school. And they came and she sat on my bed and she said, do you feel like anybody loves you? When you look back, you think that's quite a horrible question to say, isn't it? Do you feel like anyone loves you? And I said, no, I don't. I don't feel like anyone loves me. And she said, can I tell you about Jesus? And can I tell you about how he loves you? And so she told me a bit about this, and I don't think I really took it all in, but I was like, oh, okay. And amazingly at this school, they used to tell Bible stories, like most days in the little chapel that we had to go to. And I just started listening a bit more, and then they made me a prefect, and you had to sit behind the stage, so you couldn't talk, and then you really did start listening. So I started listening to these Bible stories, and I thought, oh, maybe this is real. Maybe there's something to this guy, Jesus. And then I came to youth group, and I think they showed me actually this is what real Christianity looks like. This is what God's got for you. This is his purpose for you. He loves you, and this is really real. This is an amazing adventure. And then we went to Soul Survivor, which was great fun. And they sort of talk about something called the Holy Spirit. I'm going to talk about that bit, not the other bits.
Okay.
So you can meet with the Holy Spirit, and I don't know if some of you probably have already. And so they got prayed for, and I got prayed for, and some people fall over and some people shake, and I didn't actually do any of that. I just sort of sat there, and I just felt really peaceful and really calm. And then I just saw these really bright colours, and then something quite weird happened. So every name I'd ever be called as a child growing up. So some of them were quite horrible names. I don't know if I'm allowed to use any of them. Probably not.
Probably.
No.
We'll gloss over that.
Okay, we'll gloss over those. So, so anyone who's ever been mean to you at school and said, you're worthless or you're ugly or things like that. And every time I would say, but my dad says I'm ugly. Jesus would say, yeah, but I say you're a princess. And this just went on for hours. Just went on for hours with God just telling me who he made me to be. And in the Bible it says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I obviously now work as a doctor, and I can tell you that when you're learning all the body, you're definitely fearfully and wonderfully made, because we don't understand how it works. And it all works within a tiny little thing. And if you get one bit wrong, it all goes wrong.
So it's comforting to hear from a medic that you haven't got a clue how the body works.
No idea, no.
Fabulous. No worries. Thank you so much. Really helpful. So you're trained to be a doctor, and you're also in the Navy. So what's the biggest challenge as a Christian for you in the armed services?
I think one of the biggest challenges is church. So obviously sometimes you're on a land operation. So I've been out in West Africa, and you can't go to church every Sunday because there's no church. Sometimes on ship, the challenge again is that there's no church, apart from they usually make me the church officer, so that's even more worrying. So then I have to run church, which everybody comes because you get 2 hours off and biscuits and squash. So everybody comes to church. We have really good attendance, but the service perhaps isn't that great. So I think the thing I miss is church, but I think the way I describe it is if in the room right now, if you were a guy and you walked into a party with 90 girls, you'd be like, yes, 90 good looking girls, get in. And you'd turn to tell your mate, oh, there's 90 really, look at these women, look at these girls, but there's no guy there. So you'd be in that party looking for the one other guy. And it's the same if you're a girl. You walk into a room full of, beautiful boys, perhaps, if we're this age. And you'd be looking at them going, whoa, he's hot. And you want to tell your girlfriend, he's really hot. Have you seen him? But there's no other girl in that room. So we all imagine it would be lovely to be in a room with, I'd still imagine it would be lovely to be in a room with 90 good-looking men. But it's not going to be if there's no one else to share it with. And it's a bit like that if you're a Christian in a place where there aren't any other Christians. What you miss is church, but not the building. Just being with other Christians. So in the Armed Forces, we have something called an Armed Forces Christian Union. And if any of you go to uni, they have Christian unions as well. Like, get involved in them. They're really important. So for us, the Armed Forces Christian Union is a bit unconventional. So sometimes we Skype, you know, from Bahrain or Afghanistan or wherever we happen to be. And we can have a Skype small group. So it's a bit unconventional. And sometimes they'll hook you up. So you say, oh, I'm going to be alongside. I'm going to bring the ship alongside in Bahrain next week. And they'll go, oh, right. And then you'll get an email with like 2 vicars who are going to meet you at the port in Bahrain. Like, oh, do you want to come round our house for dinner? So you have like an impromptu small group. And I think for me, being in the forces has just shown me how being a Christian, you not only have your church family here in Crowborough, but you're part of a massive worldwide Christian family. And it really is worldwide. Like, there's very few countries I've been to where I haven't been able to track down a Christian I can meet with. And I've been to some fairly fruity countries.
Okay, so what's the most sort of exciting thing you've done I wasn't going to tell you about this question, but that's fine. What's the most exciting thing you've done in your job?
Well, there's a few I can't talk about.
Fair enough.
Because we signed something called the Official Secrets Act, so probably shouldn't break that one.
No.
The most exciting things. We do escape helicopter training. Has anyone seen that? No?
Tell them what it's about.
So you get in a mock-up of a helicopter. So it honestly looks like the inside of a helicopter without the front or the tail. It's quite hard to do this.
Yeah, go on.
And you swim in it. It's over a swimming pool. And you swim into this and you like buckle yourself in like the aeroplane buckles. And you sit. And then it lowers into the water and like slowly lowers down. And so this thing fills up with water. And you're just sat there in this like tin can. They put all the windows and the doors on. You're like, you are actually drowning me. And then they turn it upside down, because if a helicopter crashes, it turns upside down. So you're strapped in, you're upside down, and then you have to wait for 3 seconds. So you have to count 1, 2, 3, and then you have to carefully wait for number 1 to open the window and swim out. And then number 2 swims out, number 3 swims out. Yeah,
and that's without breathing apparatus?
That's just holding your breath. It doesn't really work like that. What happens is that you wait till you get upside down, then everyone goes for the window just as quickly as possible. But, I'd like to say also, if my helicopter ever went down, I'm probably not saving my patient. I'm probably just going out.
You're out, and the patient
So I think that's probably one of the most
fabulous
fun things I've done.
Thank you. 2 more questions.
Okay.
These are questions which actually we asked people about. The questions that we're looking at was a survey in a school, and the questions, and there was loads of questions. You see the ones behind you on the board. Are sort of, I'm not giving you any of those. They're for Glenn, all of them.
Oh.
So wherever he is, so we're really looking forward to that. So here we go.
Poor Glenn.
So actually, as you're in the Navy, I think this one was quite relevant for you. And the question is, who lives in the pineapple under the sea?
You up. SpongeBob SquarePants.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Done.
I'm indebted
Excellent.
to you.
So much for the Navy. Okay. I like this question because I don't understand it, and let's see if you do. On a scale from blue to green,
right?
What is your favourite number in the alphabet? I didn't write this, I'm just delivering it.
Are you making this up?
No, look, read it.
Anyone help me out here? Anyone at all? No.
They don't understand the question either. Okay, well that's
blue
fine.
to green. I think my favourite letter is N for Navy, obviously. Or maybe
N
should
for
say
Navy.
J for Jesus.
But what's your favourite number in the alphabet? Yeah, I don't know it either. Okay, thank you so much, Lizzie. That's wonderful. She can stay around afterwards. If you want to have a chat with her, please do. Give it up for Lizzie.